May 2017. 1. For firm A, the relationship between inputs and output can be expressed as followed. There's a table that says land, labor, capital, and output. Find it. Okay. Define the term increasing returns to scale. You're right. An increase in all inputs leads to a proportionately greater increase in output. An increase in all inputs leads to a proportionately greater increase in output. So B is using the data in table 1 to support your answer. Identify how changes in inputs may result in constant returns to scale. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Right. Constant returns are seen when output increases from 3,000 to 4,000 units. So constant returns are seen when output increases from 3,000 to 4,000 units. Decreasing returns are seen if output increases from 4,000 units, then put like a dash kind of thing next to it and write increase in inputs, another dash, 25%, and then 20%, comma, while output increases by 20%, and then 14.6%. So decreasing returns are seen if output increases from 4,000 units, dash increases in inputs, dash 25%, and then 20%, while output increases by 20% and then 14.6%. C. Determine Part 1. Marginal revenue when output is equal to 4 units. So marginal revenue when output is 4 units is $0. $0, okay, 0. Part 2. Average revenue, $50. Now part 3. Economic profit, blah, 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 blah. You're going to write $40. D. So calculate the marginal revenue. You're going to write triangle TR divided by triangle Q equals 24 over 12 equals $2. E is calculate price elasticity of demand. PED equals percentage change quantity. So percentage triangle Q divided by percentage triangle P equals 100 over minus 20. Answer is -5. F. So explain why a profit-maximizing monopolist would never choose to operate on the inelastic portion of its demand curve. Right. When demand is price inelastic, a decrease in output / increase in price will increase total revenue, decrease output, therefore total costs, increase profit. So when demand is price inelastic, a decrease in output / increase in price will increase total revenue, decrease output and therefore total costs, increase profit. Therefore, the profit-maximizing monopolist would never choose to produce on the inelastic portion of its demand curve, as profit could always be increased by raising price. Therefore, the profit-maximizing monopolist would never choose to produce on the inelastic portion of its demand curve, as profit could always be increased by raising price. G. State 2 characteristics of a monopolist competition. Many firms. And then product differentiation. Product differentiation. H. Calculate firm B's short-run profit loss at the profit-maximizing level of output. You're going to write 350 times bracket 16 minus 20 bracket closed equals minus $1,400. $1,400. Okay, so using the diagram on page 8, explain how long-run equilibrium will be reached, right? Right, losses of $1,400 incurred will force some firms to leave the industry. Losses of $1,400 incurred will force some firms to leave the industry. As a result, the demand curve faced by remaining firms will shift to the right. The process will continue until remaining firms make normal profits. So, losses of $1,400 incurred will force some firms to leave the industry. As a result, the demand curve faced by remaining firms will shift to the right. The process will continue until remaining firms make normal profits. J. So with reference to the diagram on page 8, outline whether allocative efficiency will be achieved in the long run in a monopolistic competitive market. Just write P is greater than MR. Then P cannot equal MC when MR equals MC. So P greater than MR, comma, P like just draw like a cross over and like a line through an equal sign saying MC, and then you're gonna write when MR equals MC. Okay, so 2, right? Question 2 is about the following diagram illustrates the domestic market for rice. Okay, so rice. So calculate the social surplus at the equilibrium market price. The answer is 0.5 times 8,000. Bracket 14 minus 2, bracket closed, equals $48,000. B, part 1, calculate the resulting shortage in the market, 3,000 kilograms. Part 2, calculate the change in the consumer surplus after the imposition of the price ceiling. You're going to write bracket 0.5 times 12 times 6,000, bracket closed, minus bracket 0.5 times 8 times 8,000, bracket closed, equals $4,000. Part 3, calculate the warfare loss after the imposition of price ceiling. 0.5 times 2,000 times 3 equals $3,000. C, using the diagram on page 10, calculate import expenditure on rice. You're going to write 3 times bracket 11,000 minus 2,000 equals 27,000. D, part 1. Define the term comparative advantage. You're going to write when a country can produce a product at a lower opportunity cost than another country. When a country can produce a product at a lower opportunity cost than another country. When a country can produce a product at a lower opportunity cost than another country. Part 2. 2 limitations of the theory of comparative advantage. You're going to write comparative advantage may not bring about the benefits inherent in the theory. For example, so e.g., structural unemployment. And then application of comparative advantage may not bring about the benefits inherent in the theory. Example, structural unemployment. Another one is the assumptions of the theory may not hold in the real world. So the assumptions of the theory may not hold in the real world, e.g., constant opportunity costs, perfect competition, etc. So why the assumptions of the theory may not hold in the real world, e.g., constant opportunity costs and perfect competition. E, alpha government decides to impose a $2 tariff, blah blah blah. 2 bracket 9,000 minus 6,000 bracket closed equals $6,000. So 2 times 2 bracket 9,000 minus 6,000 bracket closed equals $6,000. F, using the data in table 1, calculate alpha's current account balance, blah blah blah. You're gonna write bracket 852 minus 829 plus 409 minus 435 plus 144 minus 170. So bracket 852 minus 829 plus 409 minus 435, bracket closed, plus 144 minus 170. Answer is minus $29 million. Part 2. Outline how Alpha's current account balance for 2016 is likely to affect the exchange rate of its currency, right? You're going to write a current account deficit, current account DEFICIT, implies that the supply of the currency exceeds the demand for the currency, causing the exchange rate to depreciate. So you're going to write, a current account deficit implies that the supply of the currency exceeds the demand for the currency, causing the exchange rate to depreciate. G, part 1. State one way in which government of Alpha might bring out a depreciation of its currency. You're going to write, the central bank may sell the currency, reduce interest rates. So the central bank may sell the currency and reduce... Okay, no, just write, the central bank may sell the currency. That's it. Part 2. So following the depreciation, it is observed that the current account balance worsens initially. You're going to write... You're just going to write the effect of depreciation makes exports cheaper and imports more expensive. Depends on the price elasticities of demand for exports and imports. The effect of this depreciation, which makes exports cheaper and imports more expensive, depends on the price elasticities of demand for exports and imports. Short-term elasticities are relatively low. Therefore, the current account may worsen. So short-term elasticities are relatively low, and therefore the current account balance may worsen. 3A. Distinguish between inflation and disinflation. Inflation refers to an increase in the average price levels. Inflation refers to an increase in the average price levels. Disinflation is a decrease in the rate of inflation. Disinflation is a decrease in the rate of inflation. Okay. So for B, part 1, write 3.1 for the first box. 3.1, and for the last one, write minus 1.8. Part 2, identify the year in which country experienced disinflation, 2014. C, part 1, the consumer price index is a weighted price index, and like one reason why the weights are used, blah, blah, blah. You're going to write increased prices are not of equal significance. Increased prices are not of equal significance to the typical consumer. So weights are used to reflect the relative importance of each good. increased prices are not of equal significance to the typical consumer, so weights are used to reflect the relative importance of each good. Determine the percentage change in CPI of country A between the base year. 56.28%. You're going to write for D. Outline how a producer price index may improve, blah, blah, blah. You're going to write producer price index measures the costs of brought in raw materials and intermediate products, factors of production, and that current increases / decrease. Okay, you're going to write producer price index measures the costs of brought in raw materials and intermediate products. Explain 2 reasons why governments attempt to avoid deflation. This is E. You're going to write real debt of households. Real debt of households. And then you're going to write higher interest rates. Higher interest rates. F, you're going to write. So using the data in figure 1, comment the degree of income inequality in the United States, blah, blah, blah. You're going to write income inequality is greater in Brazil, followed by the US, followed by Sweden. Income inequality is greater in Brazil, followed by the US, followed by Sweden.